You know, looking at that video brings back a lot of memories.
Sure does.
Glenn Frey passed away just a couple of days ago on January the 18th, and it was a shocker for me. I'm a big Eagles fan.
So sad.
Yeah.
I was hugely shocked. I really was. I thought, you know, he'd been on tour, he was healthy, so I thought everything was fine. When I heard that, I thought maybe he had a heart attack or something.
Yeah, I thought it was a hoax. I really did. Because with David Bowie, you knew right away. It was all over social media. And this one just seemed to kind of come in slowly. And you went to the web pages and, you know, it didn't give you a lot of information. If you went to the Eagles webpage, they had something that was written up that everybody actually had it on their page. Mm-hmm. And then there was a song, which we'll talk about at the end of this, which is apropos for what happened here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
By the way, I'm Pete.
And I'm Reet.
And this is the Peet and Reet Show. And a solemn day for us, both Eagles fans, of course. I was actually the only big Eagles fan in my house. And,
really?
Yeah, in the Carey house.
The Carey household, we were all Eagles fans. We would spend evenings playing that record over and over, dancing in our downstairs, and in my dad's Volkswagen camper too, whenever he would let us take it out on the road. We would crank that up and just sing every word.
You know, I don't think there's anybody in our generation and the generations that fell in love with the Eagles that can't take a memory or memories from songs. I mean, I remember
some good, some bad.
Yeah, I can't tell you why. And I had actually that memory was it was in the top 10. I was doing some radio,
right.
And it was the first song that I fell in love with, and it was in the top 10 that I was doing. So I thought that was
awesome,
kind of great. And
yeah,
there's other songs we were doing other things too. Let's find out what they're thinking in Hollywood. We've got Hollywood Craig, who's going to be doing a lot of segments on our show, and he's down in LA and going to give us some information on how people are feeling down in Los Angeles.
Thanks, Peet and Reet. Here in Los Angeles and around the world, everybody's still mourning the loss of Glenn Frey. You know him as an actor, a solo artist, but many of you know him from the Eagles, where he won 6 Grammy Awards. And it all started right here in Southern California on Santa Monica Boulevard at the Troubadour, where he met Don Henley. They ended up touring with Linda Ronstadt, and then a year later they formed the Eagles. Ironically, just a couple of doors down at Dan Tana's, they together penned the song Lying Eyes, where Glenn Frey would still visit actually, and go in there for his steak or lamb chops, what he liked. He had a little private area he liked to sit in. And you know, it's extremely sad that we lost him and so many other great artists just so recently. So the city is mourning, we're all feeling the effects, but we've got the memories of the music, and certainly one of my favorite Glenn Frey songs, The Heat Is On. Remember that? The heat is on, it's on the street, which is why we're here on the street. In Los Angeles for Peet and Reet, I'm Hollywood Craig. Back to you guys.
And thanks to Hollywood Craig for being with us, and he'll be back many times in shows to come.
So we're talking about Glenn and the Eagles, and what a band! Like initially, it was founded by Don Henley, Glenn Frey, Bernie Leadon, and Randy Meisner, and people didn't realize it. We all thought that everything was wonderful, but it was a rough road.
Yes, yeah. It was very rough because they're all brilliant. They're all so talented. There was not one guy that really stood out as the lead. Everybody was so.
And they did. They allowed that. Like when they were performing, they were all doing different things. Their faces were up front. It was never just one person. You see Glenn, who was obviously the driving force behind the whole band, who knew where he was going with it and was a perfectionist, and you're going to have that with these really skilled musicians and singers, and you're going to have some trouble. Don Henley really broken up. If you see some of the stuff that he's written since the passing.
Very sad.
Yeah.
I mean, he said he was like a brother to him. And
a leader.
Yeah. And that's nice to see from band members that haven't been together for a while.
Yeah. And then, of course, you've got Don Felder, who left in 2001, not under good circumstances.
No.
They've never talked since. He's crushed.
He feels horrible.
And he definitely said that he had only wished that they had sat down, had dinner, shook hands, and just let everything go, which, you know what? It doesn't matter how much money you have or how much you love your family. If there's somebody you're not talking to, it's not worth it. And it always shows up in the end, it wasn't worth it, and there's regret.
I don't want to leave the show without talking about the song that Glenn loved the most.
What was that?
That he wrote. One of These Nights.
Oh, I see
he
that.
He said it was edgy. That's why he liked it so much.
It had some Poco in it.
Yeah, there you go. Also, a lot of people don't know that Take It Easy was a song that he had a hard time finishing writing.
Brain lock.
Yes, exactly.
I've had that before.
One or two times. But yeah, he had lock, and he couldn't finish the song, so we got Jackson Brown to help him, which was a good friend of his.
His neighbor, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, our thoughts and prayers are with the Frey family and, of course, with the Eagles. And hopefully that they're going to continue on without Glenn and make him proud.
Exactly. And I want to end this show, with a great song. And it's called It's Your World Now. And you can find it actually on the Eagles and Glenn's websites.
Yeah, very apropos.
The time we shared went by so fast, just like a dream. We knew it couldn't last.